they have attracted a brand new era of supporters at Bradford. And they have at Castleford, to be fair, as well. This was the Club of the Year, remember, just a couple of seasons ago. We're underway, second half. Mark Lennon is under the kick-off. Here is Darren Shaw, first tackle of the second half. Steve-O, if you were a gambling man, where would your money be now?
Well, you'd have to say that Bradford should tire, but they are wonderful athletes. They've proven over the years that they can really dig deep, and they've done that in the first half. I'll be disappointed to think that Castleford won't utilise the big kick. They've got the advantage of the strong wind. So the key figure there will be Danny Orr in this second 40. I just have a sneaky feeling that the Tigers might just sneak home.
Well, we shall see. I'm sure that fatigue will play its part, because I was looking down the team sheet last night that Brian Noble had given us and checking them out, and I think about 11 of the starting lineup for Bradford tonight all took part in that match on Wednesday against Warrington. So not too many people in Bradford's colours have had much of a rest this week. Good chase by Lennon.
And that's why Brian Noble will be quite happy with the performance in the first half from his charges. And they'll just go through the routine. They'll make sure that their kick and chase is good, and they'll slow the game down. And I'm sure Stuart Rafer would have said to his men, look, forget about the referee, forget about arguing and making comments, just concentrate on our attacking game.
Yes, he will make all the comments if any comments are needed. Oh, knock on by Jimmy Lowes. If any comments are needed about the referee, it should, I suppose, come from the coach, although then he risks a fine. But is that the sign of fatigue, Steve-O?
Well, it's something you rarely see from Jimmy. Well, I must say, appears to be struggling somewhat this season. He doesn't seem to have that zip that we've seen over the past couple of years. Maybe the toll of injuries over the past two seasons has certainly hurt it. That should have been a penalty.
Eager and Mackay, it's been a battle royal that, hasn't it, tonight? Rogers spinning to Gay, now to Shaw. Shaw trying to straighten it up, but it's a resolute Bradford Bulls defence. Here's Dean Sampson.
Looked a shade forward there, was a bit of a delayed pass.
Yes, all the Castleford supporters underneath us had their hearts in their mouths then that Stuart Cummings was going to blow for another. Danny Orr. It goes wide, too eager. He bounces away from Robbie Paul. Can't get away, though, from Mackay or from Anderson.
Picked up a knock there as Eager.
Felt that, yes. Michael Smith. To the 20-metre line.
They've got to keep it alive, the Tigers.
Here's Lennon. Now Orr. Dab through. Picked up by Gilmore. And there is space here for Gilmore. Wells missed him. Hanford just about got to him, and he's finished off by Fritz. Wonder what was said at half-time, Bill?
Well, Stuart Raper, the Castleford Tigers coach, pretty pleased with that first half performance from his side, despite one or two errors, and looking to them to maintain it in the second half.
But this is a great run from Peacock. On it goes to Robbie Paul. Here now is Graham Mackay. Graham Mackay's, I was going to say almost unstoppable from this range, but he just lost his footing. Bradford still aren't done. Here they come with Anderson. Anderson trying to charge his way to the line. Terrific run that has put Bradford in this position. With us to Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul's over the line. First try, second half to the Bradford Bulls captain. And it is the Paul show so far tonight.
Well, that all came about from a poor kick from Danny Orr way downfield. It was good work by Lee Gilmore to put him in this position. And that is well finished off by Robbie Paul. Well, the power of the big fella out wide, Graham Mackay, and his centre partner Lee Gilmore got them into a wonderful area for this man to sneak over for a vital try. And that has stunned the Castleford side. They thought they should have been up the other end. But as I mentioned, it was a poor kick by Danny Orr.
He seems to enjoy playing on this ground, doesn't he? Just the sort of start that Brian Noble would have requested of his men. And Henry Paul now with the opportunity to add to the Bulls' total. Robbie, a try against Warrington on Wednesday, as you saw, tries in 3 of the last 4, now 4 of the last 5 in Super League here. And good kick from Henry. Doesn't really seem to matter where Henry Paul is. There is always a chance of 2 points.
They had a vital 6 points because they know they must feel that not just physically but mentally they'll tire. And it was really good work, wasn't it? Offload there to the big fella. Well, it's sailing away. The invisible man got him here. This went down, but the scrambling defence that served them so well in that first half from the Tigers, it failed on that occasion. They can't keep coming up with those poor kicks.
Withers is underneath the kick-off. Here is Paul Anderson. Right, let's get back to Bill. We were halfway through the half-time report.
Well, the big dilemma for the Castleford Tigers is whether they can get Aaron Raper back on the pitch. There is some hope that he will be able to go back on, and he could be crucial to the Tigers if they are to come back now against the Bulls. As far as Brian Noble goes, delighted with that first half performance. Keep it simple is the message to his guys in this second half. Complete the sets of 6, turn the Tigers round, keep them deep in their own half, and just take the chances when they come, and they're going about it exactly the right way. The one worry for the Bradford coaching team is that the side will start to tire later on in this game, but if they can build up a big enough cushion and they're going about the right way, they shouldn't have to worry about that.
Mackay with the kick. Richard Gay is after the ball and gets to it. Yes, he was bitterly disappointed, wasn't he, Brian Noble? You could tell that if you were with us last night when we had the coverage from Leeds and Brian was our guest in the studio. He was bitterly disappointed at the outcome of the Challenge Cup final last week, but he is proud, Steve-O, of the way his men have bounced back in the game since.
And rightly so. But, OK, it'll take a while for them to forget about that loss. I think he was more upset at the manner in which they played on that particular day. Of course, when they won the Challenge Cup last year, this is the reason why the penalty is. James Lowe's obviously stole it, then looked at the referee and said, "What me?" But a lot of people thought that the monkey was off the back when they won at Murrayfield. And after the Twickenham game, I suppose you'd have to say that the monkey jumped back on again.
Yes, a lot of people were I think unkindly saying that they've gone back to the bad old days when they tended to choke on the big occasion, but we shall see. Oh, what a run from Lennon. He's got support from Danny Orr, and Danny Orr gets over, momentum takes him. Try next to the post for Danny Orr. Lennon was the creator, the man filling the void left by Nick Shealy, who is out injured. And Danny Orr was the player in support on his shoulder, and he bounced over the line, but no hint of a double movement.
Well, we saw the explosive speed from Mark Lennon a couple of occasions in the first half, but look at that. That's superb play. Great support from Danny Orr. Nothing wrong with the try. A step there and just explodes. Well, he just had them all mesmerised. And he was cool and calm to offload to Danny Orr. The Tigers needed that badly.
Yes, that will lift their spirits. Danny Orr, he needed just 3 points for 600 for Castleford. Now he has got 4, so he's got to that minor personal milestone. And the mascots seem happy, and Danny Orr, well, the only names on the score sheet at the moment are the Pauls and Orr. And Castleford are back and in the hunt. 14-8.
Well, you can see that's a tired defence. They're hanging back. They leave Lennon acres of space. And very tired defence indeed. Withers did the right thing. He took the man with the football at the time of impact, but Lennon was smart enough to offload to this fella.
Tries for Danny Orr in 4 of the last 6 in this season, and well, he's going really well. 22 years of age, and young Mark Lennon, who came from St George Illawarra, played lower grades for them. That's offside against Castleford. Oh, and someone's back-chatted, and that's just gifting 2 points to Henry Paul.
Well, it was a neat kick-off. They do it often. Take the gamble, and if you don't come up with a possession, you could see there he was well and truly in front of him. And I mentioned the fact that hopefully Stuart Raper would have told his players, look, keep your mouth shut, because we're just playing into the hands of this Bradford side, and believe you me, the Bulls won't be rampaging throughout this second half. They will be virtually walking and trying to just eat up the clock. As Bill Arthur mentioned, Brian Noble quite happy with it and take the chances when they come. This is one of them.
And 2 more points to Henry Paul, 2 more points to Bradford. Well, Castleford caught offside at the kick-off. Well, it doesn't look as though he's 100% happy, does he? But he's deep in thought, I'm sure. Brian Noble, Henry Paul. Certainly, with this wind in the Bradford faces, you back-chat the referee, you give him 10 more metres forward, it's a gift.
Well, sheer stupidity, all you can say. And I think Mr. Raper will be making sure that the Tigers' ears are well and truly receptive of his words of wisdom, and rightly so.
Withers underneath the high kick-off, and the big tee that the ball is placed upon these days gives kickers like Danny Orr and Henry Paul the opportunity to really give it some lift, which allows the on-rushing colleagues to get to the man who receives the kick-off before he can make too much ground. This now is Fielder. He was clawed to the deck.
Well, I mentioned Eddie at half-time that Bradford would be happy they only missed 4 tackles in that first half. The big problem for the Tigers, of course, is that they missed 11 and had a lot of possession too.
This is Radford.
He's worked hard, hasn't he, the big second rower, Radford?
Lowe's. Robbie looks right, finds Henry. Little dab over the top, but that wasn't the best kick. Straight to Richard Gay. Here is Darren Rogers.
Well, I don't know why he went for this option. You've got an 8-point lead. You know you're going to tie it. So therefore, make sure you give it away. Good pinch there from Fielder.
Yes, Michael Smith looked around and couldn't believe the ball had gone. Here is Anderson. Takes 4 or 5 to bring big Paul Anderson down. Bradford within 3 metres of the line. Lowe's, Robbie Paul, inside to Forshaw, inside to Withers. Withers!
Oh! How on earth did he not score?
Well, credit Richard Gay and credit James Lowe.
He scored. That'll be a try, no doubt about it.
Quiet.
Dale Fritz has asked Stuart Cummings to go to the screen. He
did the marker obstruct.
He's not actually looking at this. That's a try, but he's looking at whether there was any obstruction round the play of the ball by the marker.
Well, it's a real mess there, isn't it? Well, yeah, there is. There was no chance that Danny Orr could make an attempt to tackle on James Lowe's. Gay went over the top. Did well, though, did the hooker. Nothing wrong with the grounding, but they've got to decide now whether Danny Orr was prevented. They'll go for TRY.
And the try is given. Henry Paul has already lined up the conversion. He was confident. They waste no time with these conversions when Henry Paul's in charge. 2 more points to the Bulls. 22 points to 8 then. Now they have the cushion. Can they hang on?
And again, it was silly play from Castleford that allowed Bradford to have possession. They did well there. Gay, magnificent attempt on Withers. But the hooker, who poaches so often near the try line, this is the way that the ball was taken away one-on-one. And Fielden, got to credit him. Michael Smith should have held on to that ball a lot better, but he has come up with a vital try, and he knows that. A stupid play by his side not to retain that possession in the shape of Michael Smith. Well, that try could well and truly lift Bradford and say, let's get the adrenaline pumping again. Forget about the tiredness and fatigue. Let's get tries.
And they look in the mood, don't they, Bradford? 22 points to 8 they lead, and here is Graham Mackay. Tremendous signing for Bradford, Graham Mackay. We saw the way he, not single-handedly, but certainly helped in lifting Leeds Rhinos after their awful start last year. his appearance on the scene, and he's trying to do the same for Bradford here. They haven't had the horror start that Leeds did.
Well, they're missing more tackles yet again. That occasion it was Danny Orr. Big fella slipped away from him.
Last tackle this. Dean Sampson's receiving treatment as we watch Richard Gay wrap that particular kick up, and Sampson's in all sorts of trouble. Well, the injury toll is mounting.
Trying to put a big hit on him, and Fielding came off better of the two. He's in a lot of trouble. And he wants, and the referee's done the right thing. Fielding went through with the carrying the football. Sampson lined him up.
He's in some strife here, is Dean Sampson. 33 years of age, former Great Britain and England international. He actually played in the only Super League win and a cup victory against the Bradford Bulls here in 1998. Well, Sampson's off and or on the floor. Aaron Raper is on the sideline, and we wonder whether we will see him re-emerge. There are major problems for Castleford Tigers.
It's amazing what that try has done from Jimmy Lowe's to lift the spirit of the Bradford side. And at 22-8, they must feel pretty confident now that not only to just hang on, Castleford have fallen into the trap of missing the man-to-man first-up tackles. That makes it pretty difficult, because that means you've got to scramble back, and that's more work, more effort, and your side is getting tired.
And Castleford with all these injuries. It's worth reminding everybody that there's a fairly tough assignment awaiting them at St Helens, of all places, on Wednesday night. That tackle was completed. Richard Gay thought it wasn't. Danny Orr has gone for the 40-20, and he's just got the angle wrong.
Well, he knows the idea, but it's taken them 15 minutes to really work it out, mainly due to the fact that silly mistakes and a little chat to the referee has cost them dearly.
Tackle one, stand out.
And they really should have been controlling this game.
Well done.
It's been the other way around. Ooh, that was a real flyer, wasn't it? And we'll have a word with him, I feel.
Come here. Dean.
Sampson tried to take his head off, and we can do without that.
Captain, bring your player over here, please. Move back, fellas.
I'm afraid we can do without this in our game.
Dean, I was pretty
It was
reckless.
Fielding, of course, that was involved
No doubt where
with
you're
the incident
going,
where
right?
Sampson
The intent's there,
finished
so
up
watch yourself,
hurt.
please. Right? There's nothing I can do.
Well, Dean Sampson was sent off against the Bulls at Odsal last
Hey,
April.
fellas.
So there's
Situation's
a
dealt with.
little
Leave it
bit
with
of
me.
history there.
Hey, leave it with me, Robbie.
And the
Well, to be
Bradford
fair, Eddie,
I've watched it. I've seen it.
I'm just thankful that it didn't connect,
Well, the Bradford Bulls are as well, because they
especially Stuart Fielding.
weren't terribly impressed with what they've just seen. This
Right,
is
tackle
McDermott.
one, stand out, Dean. Hold.
Here is Peacock. Just couldn't get the pass away.
Well, this is a tremendous effort by the Bulls, you know.
Mackay. But wrestled into touch. The ball did come out, but it went forward.
Well, it's getting a bit tasty out there, and Bradford know that they don't mind it getting tasty, because that means that Castleford will forget any idea about trying to play open rugby league football. They just want to square up a few things out there, and it's just playing into the hands of Bradford, who have a commanding lead. But he's had a big impact today.
Make sure you stay in, Jamie, stay in, please.
He's obviously going to be a key factor in the Bradford Bulls' charge to the grand final. That's what they're hoping for.
Right, tackle one, clean in.
Here's Darren Rogers. Offside against Bradford now.
It's at that period where Castleford really have now to turn the screw,
Get back on it, fellas.
pull their confidence.
18 penalties in the match. That's pretty high.
Busy afternoon for Stuart Cummings.
Oh, I don't think they have. I was going to say, I don't think they found touch with that penalty, but it was just over the head of Tavita by Kona. Now then, this is an opportunity. Sampson fully recovered.
Field and quick to get to him.
Michael Smith.
Come on, work. 10 metres.
Here's Darren Shaw. Lennon. Or again. Steps inside Forshaw. Knock on.
Ooh, he just got it as well. Good work from Forshaw. Daniel was trying to just throw the dummy, and Forshaw didn't take it, took the football instead. It's deemed a knock on. Whipped it away. Even though Forshaw was facing his own stick, this should be a heading ball to the Tigers.
And it is. Lennon's about to feed the scrum. And Sampson was standing out of the scrum. And they claw him down, but he's 9 metres away from the line. Fritz, Lennon, Michael Smith. Held up, so it'll be head and feed at the scrum to the Tigers again.
Good work from Withers, got underneath the big fella. Made sure that he couldn't plonk that ball over. Worked hard.
And he's acquitted himself well, hasn't he, as full-back in Stuart Spruce's continuing absence.
Well, it's times like this at Mark Lennon, we've already seen his explosive speed. Maybe he can do a solo.
He's given it to Orr, who in turn gives the ball in field, goes on the run around. Mather, wide, and Wells. Was it forward? Was it forward? Referee and touch judge have a look. Try is given.
I thought they bombed it.
John Wells gets the try. Castleford working the ball wide and catching Bradford flat on the flanks. And John Wells, who really has established himself over the past couple of years, comes up with 4 points. Needed 4 points as well.
Well, they nearly blew it because Barry John Mather could have scored all on his own. Did the right thing, of course. You saw that Leon Price had come away. To be fair to Price, he had no option. Oh, he took it well, didn't he? That's an excellent effort from John Wells. He'll enjoy that, and it's come at a vital time. Halfway through this second stanza, and I dare say it's been a magnificent effort from Bradford, and we keep saying they are getting tired. They are, but Castleford are also running out of steam. We could get quite a few points in the last 20 minutes.
Well, we could do. It could be quite entertaining, but the 2 points that are on offer here now from Danny Orr are important for the Tigers, but he's got an awkward angle. The wind at his back, though. It should drift in towards the post. Let's see. Magnificent kick. Magnificent kick from Danny Orr.
Have you been practicing kicking, Eddie? That was read it perfectly. The wind took it in straight through the middle of the post.
No, not kicking, no.
Magnificent.
Maybe a pitching iron, but not kicking. Great try, though. And a great kick to follow. John Wells with the 4, and Danny Orr with the 2. Wells made his debut against Bradford in the 26-23 home win in June 1996. Famous victory it was because it's the last time, the only time that Castleford have toppled the Bulls in a Super League fixture. Here's the try scorer that's given them hope.
Well, the big question is, do the Bulls just hang on and try to close this game down? There's still plenty of time left on the clock for plenty more action.
09 009 10 10 13 in the UK. Irish viewers 15 50 92 35 56. Man of the match. Agree with Clarkey and Steve-O's choice and get yourself off to Old Trafford on the 13th of October. Oh, he lost that.
Trying to get the ball away.
The vital mistakes by Michael Smith. Let's go down to the sideline. Phil Clark will have had a very good view of all that and of all this. Phil, Bradford, they have the cushion. Can they hang on now?
Yeah, well, I think they can. There's a famous saying, it's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it that counts. And after the disappointing performance last week, the way they've bounced back, their attitude from all the players here, the talk between players, their effort to be there, get up, work so hard has been so impressive, and for my reason I think that will carry them home tonight. They seem to have such a mental toughness in their attitude towards taking on the Castleford side. However, having said that, with Danny Orr in that sort of form, there will be a tough 20 minutes ahead of them.
Thanks, Phil. Another famous saying from Phil to go along with the many famous sayings of Steve-O. Like the classic last one we had, if you've lost the key to your own house, break into the one next door.
I wonder who came out with that one.
Well, it's a famous saying.
Ooh, an old famous saying.
Yes, absolutely.
That's to be an old one.
Michael Smith again. Good strength on show from Michael Smith. He's got a second chance from Stuart Raper here at the Jungle. Now then, Sampson with the drive. The Tigers have got to up the tempo.
They've got to keep it alive, they've got to keep it moving now.
Oh, it went over the shoulder of Tonks. And the referee has given Castleford the penalty for offside.
Well, surely they want to take a quick tap, get on with it. Well, they're standing around, Danny Orr.
They're in no hurry, I think they're going to take the two.
Well, against a tired outfit, they realise that, I know it brings them within a 6-point trying to goal conversion situation, but well, they were stood around with Bradford, and now would have been running through, quick tap, force them on, force against it. This has given Bradford the chance to regain their composure and their breath.
As you say, it puts the Tigers back to within a converted try if he kicks it, and you would back Danny Orr.
Oh, you put the mocker on. Guarantee that.
Do you want a shilling then?
Yeah, he'll miss it.
You say he'll miss it? You owe me a 5-penny piece.
Well, I have quite a few in my piggyback back home, but if you're willing to pay for my airfare back to Sydney.
Your airfare?
Yes.
And they spend shillings in Sydney, do they? I know they're a million years behind us over here, but I can't believe that.
Million years?
Well, I can't understand your accent.
Well, we're not in Sydney, we're in Brisbane tomorrow, and it's the State of Origin number 1. It's live on Sky Sports 1 at 11 a.m. in the morning. Phil Clark will be heading down the motorway, join Chris Warren in the studio, and then we have our Origin game. Yorkies against Lankies. It's at Headingley on Tuesday, the 5th of June at 7:30.
If he continues, I will deal with it. Okay?
Oh, Henry Paul has obviously said something out of turn. The brothers better sort it out.
Time on.
Well, they're having a bit of a giggle about it, but I can assure you there's no smile on the face of the official Stuart Cummings.
Backwards, play on!
No, and
that was a high one from McDermott. How on earth was that not seen? To his credit, Wells went up and just put a big smile on his face. It was a real grab round the neck.
significant moment here for Jason Flowers. He has emerged from the bench for his first appearance of the year. With the big hoof downfield. Withers collects it, and Orr is leading the charge. The orange wall has arrived.
Let him play the ball quickly. Get him to the ground. There's nobody there in support. There is now.
Low as it is. Now Vicona. Well, they're hunting the mistake now, Castleford.
There'll be nothing fancy from the balls from here. That you can be sure of. Just a good drive. Make sure that the kick and chase is as good as what we've just seen there from the Tigers.
Lowe's and Bangana has
that's great
driven
work.
The ball forward again.
Look how far they've dragged it upfield. That really does please the coach, and I'm sure Brian Noble will be happy with that.
Good kick too, that will hang in the wind. Gay is after this, he's made a mess of it. He's offside, is he? Wells. It's a knock-on anyway, offside. He was always stretching for that, was Richard Gay. It was always going away from him in the wind.
And that just shows you the importance of making sure that when you cart the ball back from your own quarter, you get yourself into a position where you can apply the pressure. And all sorts of things go through your mind there when the ball's in the air. You know you're close to your in-goal area. That's why the mistake came up. And this will be slow the game down time. And then the referee, Stuart Cummings, has just said, come on, don't take too long, get on with it. But I think the ball may fall off that thing a couple of times.
He's normally Speedy Gonzalez, isn't he, Henry Paul? But he is a little bit slower this time. This to make Castleford have to score twice again. He's deadly with the kicking.
That's why I'll be disappointed with that first effort today, which wasn't the best.
No, it cost him.
Like one of my golf shots. Well, I must say, the ball went further, didn't it, from Henry Paul?
Well, the Bradford Ball supporters, they've had a long and difficult week as well.
And an expensive one, I would imagine.
Yes. Yes, they've parted with... Oh, and Danny Orr went for the little short one. And the referee hadn't blown the whistle. He's fortunate.
Clever play there from Robbie Paul, the Bradford skipper.
Don't get in front.
He didn't know whether the whistle had gone, he wasn't going to hang around. This should be deep now. Might be the same ploy again.
Come on, no penalty.
Up it goes. Lowe's is underneath it. Vangana to Withers.
Right, that's one, Dean.
That's wonderful confidence, isn't it? Take the ball and two passes just across the try line area. But this has been a great feature by the Bulls, the way that they've carted the ball back from the danger zone. And failed this half to get over the halfway line. It's been a great effort from them.
It has. They've had to dig deep, haven't they? It's been resilient. And 8,500 people are inside this ground watching this match tonight. It's Castleford's biggest Super League gate of the season. There's another booming kick downfield from Henry Paul. This time, though, it skips away.
He'll be quite happy with it, though. He knows that his one line of defence can get back on the 10 metres. We've often said that so much skill out there on the Bradford Bulls side, and as is on the Tigers, of course, but they become more famous for their attacking play. But today, it has been their defence that has got them home. That's if they can keep this this lead.
Yes, 10 minutes they have to hang on. Ian Tonks, who significantly came on just before the try. The last try that the Tigers scored by John Wells. Here is Danny Orr.
Look at that defence. They were just forcing Castleford to go across the line. And really, when you've got no dummy runners with it.
Penalty now for stealing. Danny Orr.
Let's get on with it. Rightly so. Crowd lift. A few more decibels.
Keep getting the ball off the ball, boy. Right, here's your mark.
So a chance for the Tigers with Sampson.
Come on, Bulls, come on, come on.
Fritz to Lennon.
Good hit, but he didn't get to him.
Lovely play from Tonks to Richard Gay, and he's hauled down just in front of the sticks.
What a tackle from Joe Vangana.
Danny Orr has dropped it. Danny Orr has dropped it, I think, over the line. The video referee will make the decision.
Yeah, he's dropped it. This will be no try, I'm sure. Oh, bitter disappointment.
We'll have to get in position, though.
He really has not got control of that football. I've got to go for NLTIY on this one. Good work from Withers. You can see Withers desperate to try to just pull that arm back. The right arm, he's got him on the right shoulder, and that was sufficient enough for him to lose it. It's got to be no try, he knows it.
No try. And so near, yet so far. The build-up deserved the try.
Well, here comes the heavy brigade. Just one pass, head down. That's what McDermott is doing.
It has been a highly creditable effort, this, by Bradford.
Been a superb effort.
A lot of people expected them to fold. They might, I suppose, in the next 8 minutes, but so far it's been near perfection for Brian Noble.
Great tackle there from Jason Flowers. Big fella dumped over.
There's the last one. Look out for the boot of Henry Paul again. Here it is. No, it's a spinner. It's a difficult one for Richard Gay. He claims it this time, though. And Paul Anderson claims him, but he manages to offload to Barry John Mather.
Little doubt that this Bradford defence, they're eager. They must be out on their feet completely. Look at them swarming through there.
Well, they will be operating now on pure adrenaline. Haaland. Wide it goes. How confident was that from Tonks? Here's Mather. This is Wells.
And still they scramble across. Good work from Price. Look at that one line moving in.
Flowers has made the burst. Gay's on his inside. Has Gay got the legs of Leon Price? Gay has got the legs on Leon Price. Richard Gay's try gives Castleford so much hope again. What a burst by Jason Flowers, though, to set him up.
Well, it was Flowers that produced the tackle. And it was a great tackle, but it was even better when he went through that gap. Good fend there. Leon Price played the price for going too high. And the price is surely going to be 6 points right under the sticks. Great return for Flowers. That'll build his confidence. That was a great fend from Richard Gay, who took a difficult bomb only seconds before that. We're in for a thriller.
Yes, it's going to be a rip-roaring finish to this match now. And Danny Orr now has the opportunity to chip 2 more points off this total. It's 24-20. It's 24-22. Settle down, fasten the seatbelts. Here we go.
Well, he's animated. The Tiger fans, they're doing exactly the same thing. We mentioned just as this game kicked off that it's very rarely that these two sides let us down. And it has been a creditable performance from Bradford. But as Eddie has just mentioned, can they hang on?
Well,
they've got to keep this ball alive now. This has to be a deep kick.
They're in no hurry. Time's back on. Deep kick from Henry Paul. It hangs, and underneath it is Wells. And suddenly the Tigers have got a spring in their heels. Flowers. He's waited all year to get back to Super League, and he has made a telling contribution to this match already. Sampson and Fielden again. Fritz.
Oh, good tackle there from Peacock. Wasn't going to take the dummy.
Haaland. Tonks. Oh, Flowers. Hero 1 minute, villain the next.
There were 2 knock-ons anyway. The big fella Barry John Mather came up with a mistake and the error. Good work from Gilmore. He's had a fine game.
Let's go, fellas. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
It's so vital, isn't it?
Here we go.
Come up with the hero a moment ago. Flowers made the break for Gay to score that try, and it was Flowers who just took his eye off the football.
Now then, it's Castleford's turn to defend doggedly.
This is where the grandmother's jumper comes in. Stick it well and truly up it. That's what the message will be from Brian Noble, the Bulls coach.
Here is Anderson on the charge. What a weapon in your armoury Paul Anderson is. Loads. Bradford. Lowe's again. It comes wide to Leon Price. Price. And Price on all fours. Almost plays it. The little stab towards the in-goal area from Lowe's. And Castleford will have another bash at them.
Is this the final throw of the dice? No, they've still got plenty of time.
Haaland.
They are running out of gas, the Bulls. But they are brave. They are still putting their bodies on the line. They've got to be careful not to give away a silly penalty. They'll try to slow things down.
Tonks takes the tackle. That's number 3. This set of 6. Here's Lennon. It comes wide to Flowers. Flowers again, trying to barge his way through them.
Oh, that's good play. That eats up the clock.
Sampson stands and gives it to Lennon. He gives it to Gay. Gay offloads to Tonks. Wide he goes to Eager. Eager spins away, flicks the ball out the back door again. These are absolute perfect tactics by the Tigers. Here comes Flowers. Flowers underneath the tackle from Anderson. Still going, Flowers. That's the last.
Good work there from McDermott and Withers. It had to be. They're stretched. They're all over the place.
Oh, gets it to Eager. Forward. Rogers is touched down. Referee has a look.
He'll give it.
And he's waiting to go to the touch judge.
Was it forward?
It looked forward from here.
Time off. Okay, we're looking at the grounding and the corner flag.
Oh, this is a try then.
It's grounding and the corner flag. There's nothing, of course, they can do about forward pass.
He gets it down, don't worry. Oh no, his foot is just on the whitewash. This will be no try. Absolute desperate attempt there. Tavita Vicona has saved the day, perhaps. Rogers, he scored some sensational tries, but he's going to be denied and disappointed, and so are all the other Tiger fans. It'll be an OTOI. It is.
It is. And Bradford get the feed at the scrum, importantly. I think, Steve-O, from this angle anyway, it would have been harsh because it looked a mile forward, the pass.
Oh, look at the anguish there. Stuart Raper cannot believe it. Rogers keeps shaking his head, but once they see the replay, it's quite conclusive that it's a no try.
Well, they might get another set of 6, Castleford. They might. Here is Peacock. 2 points in it. A video referee decision to deny Darren Rogers the match-winning try. But there was no doubts at all. The video referee got it absolutely spot on. Last one, David Asquith.
Gonna be a good kick.
He's the video referee tonight.
Good thinking.
It is a good kick from Robbie Paul.
He's been around a while, and so is this fella, Brian Noble. Get it into touch. It takes several seconds for the scrum to form, and Bradford will be in no rush.
Yes, they're plodding. The referee's called time off, though. 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Now then, what can Danny Orr and Mark Lennon come up with? They've got to risk it.
Oh, they are risking it. Richard Gay, look at the way this ball is zipping about for Castleford. Darren Rogers takes the tackle from Graham Mackay.
We're into the last minute.
And
keep away from the touch.
It's desperate defence from Bradford. What a thrilling end to this match. Danny Orr's gone for broke. Why on earth did he kick that? He was going for 40-20, I suppose, but
he's blown it.
He has.
They've taken the gamble. They would have been far better suited to tower it down. He panics. He knows that the clock will just tick away. Robbie Paul, he'll just pick up the ball. Surely he won't even bother to pass. He has done it. Henry who picks it out from the back.
And gives it to Anderson, who has been absolutely magnificent.
That's it. It'll be all over. One more tackle, perhaps.
What a week for the Bradford Bulls. There's the full-time siren. Castleford's brave effort comes to nothing, but what a week for Bradford and Brian Noble in the Super League. The disappointment of Twickenham well and truly put to bed. And 2 wins in 3 or 4 days.